Have you ever been to the US and tried a crumble cookie? This is like cookies meets a cupcake shop meets all the things. So it's a chain in the US that makes a custom cookie. So they have like 6 kinds of cookies that you can buy today, and they are fresh in a warmer unless they're cold. There's some that are cold. And then when you order them, they're like decorated to order. So when you get the box, they're like still warm. It is crazy. We were in Georgia last week, and of course I found a Crumbl cookie nearby. Some of my family had not experienced the whole experience. You go in, you order your cookies, you watch them. It's like just a store that makes cookies. It's the craziest thing. So I decided today we needed a little bit of Crumbl cookie in our life. So I am gonna make a copycat recipe that I found online for an Oreo Crumbl cookie, because we love Oreo cookies and Oreo everything around here. So I've got 25 Oreos in my food processor. Crushed them up pretty small. I love that this thing is cordless, because I especially love that the hand mixer is cordless and the immersion blender, because how often do you need something where it's a long ways from the plug? Most of the time, if we're being perfectly honest. Okay, so I've got this Oreos are gonna go into my dry ingredients. So I've already started some of those. So this is a super interesting recipe. Baking is all about chemistry. And so there's some interesting ingredients in here that I wouldn't probably put together. So far I've got flour and cornstarch. And then I'm adding half a teaspoon of a quarter teaspoon of baking powder, and then a half teaspoon of baking soda. I love that this thing just tells me all the sizes. And then some salt. And then some cream of tartar. So this is where it gets really interesting, because cream of tartar is something you usually use when you need to like make up baking powder or baking soda. Baking powder, I think you usually use some baking soda and cream of tartar. So it uses a quarter cup of cream of tartar, and that's what's in the dry ingredients. Now this is what is interesting, is the like butter sugar piece is actually brown sugar, white sugar, and powdered sugar all in the same mixture. So I think that this is going to be really interesting. So it's a quarter cup of white, 3 tablespoons of brown, and a quarter cup of powdered. Now, powdered sugar has cornstarch in it as well. So I'm thinking that these are the goal, like a Crumbl cookie, if you've ever had one, is like incredibly soft, almost like a cake cookie. Oh, have you ever done this? I just took the butter out of the fridge. So I grate it so that it's soft. Saves melting it in the microwave. So I just grate it over my bowl, and that makes it soft. So what's interesting about powdered sugar is that it has cornstarch in it. I think I said that. And so with the cornstarch that's in the dry, I think it's gonna be a cakey cookie, but the cornstarch is going to prevent it from like running, I think. I don't know, tell me what you think. So, bring those together. I'm gonna find the lid actually. What's interesting is it's actually not a lot of ingredients, so sometimes this mixer doesn't do a super great job when there's not a lot of ingredients. Now this is where it also gets interesting. After this is creamed, I'm gonna add an egg and some oil. So you can see that it's a really interesting chemistry, but I know how good the cookie will be. Okay, we're creamed pretty good there. Let me scrape this down off the sides. Okay, now we're gonna add in our egg and our oil. I'm really interested to see what this batter looks like. I think it's gonna be which is kind of what I expect of this, knowing what I know about this cookie. Now, here's the thing about a Crumbl cookie, is you always make them, well, you don't always make them, you make them with a large scoop because you're gonna decorate them. This with my whips because it's just the Bosch mixers are amazing, but with just a little bit of batter they sometimes need a little bit extra help. Together, you want it to kind of start looking a little foamy, like it's almost I guess like it's whipped, right? You want it, when it says cream, like it wants it to be like a cream like texture. Can you see that? So like getting those lumps out, so creaming it for extra time is actually quite important with your baking. This is why if you've ever made a whipped shortbread, they want them like whipped for like 15 minutes. Okay, so this wants me to add these ingredients in 2 batches. I don't know why, but it's a new recipe, so we'll follow the instructions and put the lid on. Otherwise, we will have a mess. So mix those until they're moist, and then we're gonna add the rest. I love a good cookie. Do you love a good cookie? Oh, kids are going to be so excited. I'm going to be excited. Smells like Oreos, which it should. There's 25 Oreos in it. Now, I have my baking stone here. Let me just clear some surface here. Now, this is one of those situations where I love my rectangle stone because it is the same size as the stone bar pan, except because it doesn't have the edge, I can always get an extra little row of cookies out. So I'm gonna try this because here's the thing with a Crumbl cookie is when we buy them, we literally put a knife with the box because they're so big. So I'm actually going to, because I'm quite curious how they're gonna spread, I'm actually just gonna bake some of each because seriously, it's a cookie. So I'm gonna throw this in the oven with one of each of these. They should take about probably 10 or 15 minutes to bake. And then we're gonna see which kind we like, which size we like. And then, yeah, it's not gonna make really a ton of cookies. That's the thing, is it's only gonna make like 10 or 12 cookies. I'm gonna redo this medium one so that it's actually full. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put another row on here and I'm gonna bake them and then I will show you what they're like. The thing about baking on a stone is that is what's gonna keep the center of this cookie so cake-like because I don't use a convection oven when I'm baking on my stone because the stone is actually doing the work of the convection oven and gonna give me a nicer product. So this bottom is gonna be crispy, the top is gonna be crispy, and the center is gonna be that cakey Oreo that I'm dreaming of.